I'm Ryan Smith. Welcome to The Road Ahead, coming to you from Battery Show North America in Detroit, Michigan. In today's episode, we're diving into the battery safety and mobility intelligence, two topics of immense importance to the automotive industry. Today, we're diving into two big topics for automotive world, battery safety and mobility intelligence. And what better place for this discussion than here in Detroit, Michigan, the heart of North America's auto industry and home to the Battery Show North America. To help us unpack these topics and explore how materials are shaping a smarter, safer, and more sustainable future, I'm joined by Jeroen Bello, Global Marketing Senior Director here at Dow MobilityScience. Jeroen, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Could you please share with the audience a little bit more about yourself and your role here at Dow?
Yes, again, thank you for having me. So, my name is Jeroen Bello. I'm working for more than 20 years in the automotive industry, from the aftermarket all the way upstream and now into advanced material science. I'm originally from the Netherlands, have a passion for cars, but of course as well for biking.
Very good. I'm glad to see you continue your passion for mobility here at Dow, and thank you for bringing your decades of experience. How many of these battery shows have you been to?
It started around 2017, I think, and since then in Europe and North America, so probably more than 8 of battery shows. Wow. And has evolved and become bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And as we can see here now, it's very impressive. Yeah.
And what is your favorite part of these events?
What I really like here is engaging with our customers. Okay. So the customer coming to our booth, we have the conversation about their challenges, really that networking. Yeah. In addition, what is very exciting is about showing the broad portfolio that we're having, from a polyurethane to silicons. Often the customer doesn't even notice all the solutions that we can offering. So bringing those challenges to us and having those conversations.
Yeah, that is both the joy and the challenge of mobility science, trying to represent all those many diverse chemistry sets. Absolutely. In one place. So I've had a chance to walk the floor a little bit. I'm guessing you have as well. And it's incredible to see all the innovation and multitude of companies around us bringing new materials to market. Have you seen anything pique your interest as you're walking the show?
Yeah, what excites me most about the future of the batteries is now that advanced materials are being adopted at scale in the next generation of batteries. And instead of just solving the technical issue, really addressing the safety, more smart and more sustainable solutions. So that's really exciting me what we're seeing today. Yeah.
How are we thinking about the future of battery performance and the future of mobility here at Dow?
What we are showing here at the battery show is really our broad portfolio. Yeah. Again, from the polyurethane into silicons, and really offering the right solution for our customers. We're focusing here on the electric vehicle, but as well the solution for the hybrid vehicles. All the vehicle designs that we're seeing in front of us. The key attention that we're playing today is really about the battery safety and about the electronics into the vehicle, and specifically about the performance over the vehicle life cycle to making sure that that works properly. As an example, on our DowSail brand, we're offering battery safety materials. As an example, we are showcasing here our fire-resistant coating. We have foam sheets, we have gaskets, we have seals. In addition, for our electronics portfolio, what is very important now is thermal management. Yeah. And therefore, we are showing here a lot of our thermal greases, thermal conductive adhesive, gap fillers, to making sure that the electronics keeps cool. Electronic doesn't want to get heated, it needs to keep it cool. And a key trend in here is mobility intelligence, where we're focusing on and offering that solution, because the vehicle is becoming electric, but as well the whole inside of the vehicle is becoming really the autonomous driving vehicle for the future.
Thank you, Jeroen. And so now looking at battery safety, that's been such a significant focus of this industry over the past several years and seems even more so present today. What is the reason for the focus today, and where do you think the industry is going to go?
Yes, battery and the heat in the battery is a really hot topic, specifically from a battery fire protection. So what you see a lot is material needed for thermal runaway. So in case the battery, you get an accident or overheating, something happens, how can you make sure that the passenger get out of the vehicle safely? And with increased legislation, it's becoming more and more important. So thermal runaway and having the right solution to prevent that is a key topic.
What are some of your products that are addressing those challenges? Specifically, I know in the silicone portfolio, that's a significant focus of yours.
Absolutely, and we have a very extended portfolio in here. First of all, I would mention the battery fire resistant coatings, okay, which is basically on the bottom of the lid, That's one. The other end is we are supplying as well foam sheets that can go between the battery, prismatic designs or the pouches. And then we have as well encapsulants that can go around the battery. And last but not least as well the gaskets and sealants. So making sure that the battery is properly closed and protected against any environmental impact potentially.
So in addition to your silicone portfolio, what are some of the promising new materials or chemistries that you see Dow offering into this market that's further mitigating that thermal runaway?
Yeah, so what is very exciting that we talk a lot with our customer around here at the battery show is our one-part silicone fire resistant coating. It has unique properties, and this is really where the silicone properties excel, specifically if you have a thermal event. Silicone ceramifies, and when it ceramifies, it still keeps its dielectric properties, and you don't have any exhausting coming out. So it's really making sure that these properties of silicones are beneficial into this application.
So the silica actually will, I guess, become a ceramic and become like a shield, it sounds like, for the battery.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fantastic. So part of the puzzle for these advanced materials is not just in performance, but also in designing for circularity. On our last episode, the viewers remember that we visited with Dr. Quintanilla, and we talked with her at length about the state of automotive recycling. Can you tell us more about how the industry looks for recycling and circularity in the battery space?
Yes, no, absolutely. What is very important here is the end of life of the battery, right? First of all, you can have batteries that have a second life that could be leveraged in another market for energy storage. But if you want to disassemble the battery, there are needs for solutions there as well. You can see the legislation is increasing. A good example is the battery passport in Europe. And what we want to do is helping the OEM design for circularity. So end of the life, how can you take the battery apart and get access to the precious minerals? As an example, with debonding type of technologies to take it apart and making sure that all the different parts of the battery can be recycled. And that's where the collaboration with the OEM is so important.
Speaking of that information exchange and this new era of mobility, we see mobility intelligence as being a major part of this transition. How do you see the industry defining even what that means, mobility intelligence, and what do you see it meaning for the future of transportation?
Yeah, mobility intelligence we see as a key trend, the next wave in any automotive. What is mobility intelligence? Is really making that the vehicle is becoming a super data-driven supercomputer. And with AI, connectivity, Internet of Things, the amount of data and how the vehicle is going to be operating in the future, interfacing with the driver and the passenger is transforming completely. And we see the trend is accelerating already in China, and it's going to be only accelerating globally further. So it's a very exciting space for us to bring novel materials into this application like ADAS, for example. The ADAS modules, the computer, but as well the cameras, the LiDARs, or domain controls in that sense as well. There's a need for novel materials, and the key thing area is there as well on thermal management, to keeping the electronics cool.
I know you mentioned on the thermal management before. Is that what you see as kind of the major challenge that the industry is trying to address to enable this next step of mobility intelligence?
Yeah, absolutely. Because what we see happening, more and more electrification, not just the battery, but the electronics, and the data processing is increasing so much, so the electronics are getting more and more hotter, and everything's getting more smaller. So it's miniaturization, more heat generation, so you need novel material with higher thermal conductivity to making sure that that module works today and in 10 years from now as well. So reliability, keeping the electronics cool, you need thermal interface material. A great example that we're showcasing as well here at the battery show is a collaboration with Carbice. So we launched the thermal interface pads, and this is a breakthrough technology where we bring carbon nanotubes together with silicon together to offer a completely new type of material that are being used at semiconductor chip level all the way to inverters in power electronics, for example. And we're very excited. We launched it 1 year ago, and now we can really see the momentum happening into the market.
What is it you think that sets that Carbice technology apart from your toolbox of other thermal materials that you have on market?
Yeah, what's very exciting now, we have a complete toolbox that I can talk to our customer. Yeah. What are the challenges they need? We have liquid thermal interface material. We have now a pad thermal interface material. So depending on the needs, depending on the design, we can offer the customer the right solution. What excited us about the Carbice pad solution, the thermal interface, is that you have a very high thermal conductivity in the vertical direction, and you can in the horizontal direction with the 12 watt per meter Kelvin vertical and horizontal at 200 watt per meter Kelvin. Wow. So that means if you have a chip with hot spots, you can really dissipate the heat. And with the silicon on top of the carbon nanotube, you really make a difference in that very good connectivity of a chip, for example.
Okay.
And that's the biggest challenges in the industry. More power, more processing. How do you make sure that you keep the right temperature so it can operate reliable over time?
That sounds fantastic for the user of the end vehicle. How is Dow, how is your team partnering with materials manufacturers or parts manufacturers to ensure efficiency during the manufacturing process?
Yes, I mean, we talk a lot about products,
Yeah.
but it's product with process. You can make a fantastic product, but you need to make sure that the process works as well. We say 1 + 1 is 3 in this case, if you
Okay.
do it very good. So we work with our customers to understand on their manufacturing line, example, a product like TC4525, how can we optimize it at our customer manufacturing line so the throughput is fast and that you have an optimal dispensing. So understanding the people on the floor, the robots, how it works, collaborating with the customers, optimizing the process, and then you get the most efficient throughput, and again, addressing the total cost of ownership for a customer, having the high performance material with the best total cost of ownership, that's our goal.
One thing I like to ask as a final thought for all the people I have the privilege of inviting on this show is what keeps you up at night in regards to this industry? What do you like to be thinking about?
Yeah, well, I think a lot about this market is going through such a big transformation. We cannot do it on our own. The collaboration and working together is essential. Working with our customers, working with supplier, even working with other customers in the same part of the value chain. And in addition, how can we bring the knowledge of other markets like the semiconductor, electronics that come into this market where we have a good footprint, and how can we all bring that together to offering the best solution? So that's one. The other part I really have a passion for is how about the next generation? In this industry, innovation comes all together. It's hardware, software, manufacturing, chemistry. It's the most innovative market in the world, and how can we inspire the next generation to come to this market? And last but not least is of course sustainability. And this is really all our efforts, all our steps that we're doing, specifically with our mobility science. What can we do here to make a positive impact, making this transformation of the market to electrification, and in parallel, lowering the carbon footprint and working on those circularity elements as well. That keeps me up at night, those 3 points.
Those are fantastic thoughts. I love how you're looking to the future, you're building something that will last, and you're trying to make a difference in the world at the same time. So thank you very much, Jeroen, for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for the opportunity to discuss with you more about batteries and electrification. And it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Ryan.
As a quick recap, we discussed the very dynamic and varied innovations on display here across the entire battery show. The specific materials and collaborations that Dow is engaging in to advance performance and especially the safety of battery electric vehicles, and the wide open future of mobility intelligence. We'd love to hear from you. What battery innovations have you the most excited about the future of hybrid and all-electric vehicles? What are your companies doing to accelerate mobility intelligence? Share in the comments and let's get a conversation started. As always, thank you so much for joining us on the road ahead. Be sure to tune in every month as we continue to explore the critical intersections of science, sustainability, and performance for the mobility industry. If you enjoyed today's discussion, share it with your network and help us drive this conversation forward. Until next time, I'm Ryan Smith, and we'll see you on the road ahead.